Welcome to another unboxing video from theplayersaid.com. My name is Grant. Today I'm unboxing a game that I've been interested in for quite a while now. I heard about this about a year ago. Typically not my kind of game. This is a cooperative worker placement style game, but it has a historical connection. This is called Striking Flint, and the subtitle is the 1937 UAW, United Auto Workers, sit-down strike in Flint, Michigan. Once again, cooperative game, and the design is by John Dubois, and it's published by Hollandspiele. In fact, this is hex number 83 for them. I actually just bought number 82 as well, which was Comet, Allied Airman Rescue in World War II. And I bought number 81, Beware the Ides of March. So I have a little bit of a Hollandspiele addiction. I probably own, I'm looking over at my shelf as I'm talking, I probably own 30 of their titles. Yeah, about 30. Now, obviously not every one of them, but I have kind of picked and chose those that I really truly wanted over the years, and then purchased them. But this is one I definitely was interested in when I saw some rumblings about it about a year ago. John Dubois, he designed the solitaire game Heading Forward, which was also published by Hollandspiele a couple of years ago, maybe 18 months ago. And that game was on the player recovering from a traumatic brain injury and having to relearn motor skills and talking and speech and that kind of thing. So that's John Dubois. This is his second game that I'm aware of. He probably has other games, but very much interested in this one. And once again, it's the 1937 sit-down strike in Flint, Michigan. I did want to kind of read this part to you. The game uses what is called a clever subversion of the worker placement genre. As you know, worker placement is you place a piece into an action space and then can take that action. My guess is subversion means that you are placing your worker in these spots, preventing them from taking those actions. But we'll see as I read the rules and get into it. But yeah, here you place workers to prevent actions from occurring. Solidarity between players, so as a cooperative game, you're working together, is key as you resist the forces of General Motors. There are deep pockets, local police force, National Guard, and a hostile press. So working together, they have to try and survive this. Here's a look at the board. The board is actually made up of a very small small deck of cards, and you're going to line these up. I don't know if they are, what do you call it, random, or if it builds the same way every game. Really love the art on the back of these, by the way. That's really striking. But you're going to set these up and then play on this surface. There's also like a records track on a board, but it's more like a card. I'll show you that here in a moment. Let me go ahead and open this. Has a pretty strong band. As you know, with Hollandspiele, these are kind of eclectic games, but I've really never played one of their games that I really didn't like. They all had a lot of very interesting takes on a lot of different parts of history. So there's about 10 of these, right? 2, 4, 6, 8, 11, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There are 11 of these, and these, once again, are going to make up your playing surface. I don't know if, I made this comment earlier, I don't know if this is kind of a random setup, or maybe there are scenarios where specifically you set up in a different way. And then these are actually player boards. So that's the playing surface. And then you've got these different player boards. So let's take a look at these. This is the Socialist. It just shows the different actions that you can take and what they do. And then these are Exhaustion. So exhausting your workers, which are included here as a bag of cubes. Maybe not workers, but influence or something. Here are the Congress of Industrial Organizations, the CIO. And I'm trying to see if the actions are exactly the same. Oh, there's some slight difference. For instance, you can see here, they both have occupy, they both have picket and resist. And then there are unique actions here, gambit and move. And then this has rouse. So there is some asymmetry with the different factions. That's always a good thing. But that's kind of the playing surface, and then your different faction player aids. And keep in mind, this is a cooperative game. Here's another look at the deck of cards, and I'm telling you, love this art, love the style, the look, and the feel. But here are the action cards. Looks like there's an effect, kind of an event that's going to happen. There is some removal instructions here. And then there's a little bit of a historical element to the title, which is kind of cool. And these are set up almost as if they are story or headlines from a newspaper. So that's kind of cool. But you can see there's a whole bunch of them. Women outside use clubs to break windows. Leaders of strike to face arrest. National Guardsmen enter 12th day of occupation. Yeah, kind of cool. But those are the playing cards, really striking. Here I mentioned the playing pieces, and there's a couple different types of playing pieces. Let's go ahead and just kind of get a handful of those out. Here are some traditional meeples, which typically represent the player's people or the faction's units, for lack of a better word. I'm a war game guy. You can see there are different colors that coincide. These are the socialists, so they're going to go here with that player, and these go with the different factions, right? There's black ones as well. Those might be the enemy units, like the National Guard and the police. And then there's also just simple black wooden cubes, and these are that, remember the exhaustion effect. These are probably in some way your influence or currency. That'll be determined once I kind of dive into the rule book. Haven't done that yet. Before I get to that rule book, and this fell right apart. This is the counter sheet, one counter sheet, and it's kind of a liberal take on this to call this a counter sheet. There are some different markers. There's a rat marker, police marker. There's an agreement or handshake marker, and then these are the different faction symbols, the CIO, United Auto Workers, different socialists, etc. And then, as you can see, there is a big board, and this is kind of the turn track with different faction symbols and symbols there on there. There are 40 turns. That is an agreement. And this says hard, whereas the other side says easy. So obviously there's a couple different ways to play it and ease your way into it. But I love cooperative games. I love cooperative games that are challenging, and this one definitely hopefully fits that bill. Here's the rule book, and it does 1 to 5 players. I didn't mention that earlier. I should have. But there's the rule book, fairly simple, and you're going to be surprised how thin it is. You open it, there's 2 pages, 4 pages, 6 pages. There are a total of 6 pages. The cover doesn't count itself. But yeah, there you have it. A description of the pieces in the game, an overview of the cards and their layout, setup. So yeah, there is some difference in setup from the way I put them together, and that's cool. Flow of play, so your sequence of play, how your actions are taken, and then the factory actions. And then here is event completions, ending the game. Ooh, there's a solo and 2-player version. During the 2-player, everybody just does 2 committees. When playing alone, choose 3, 4, or 5 committees. Okay, so that would work. I definitely will give that a try. And it gives you some different ways to change the difficulty if you find it to be too challenging. But to me, one of the hallmarks of any good cooperative game is that it's challenging. You don't want these things to be cakewalks. You don't want to literally sit down and destroy the game upon your first play. Now, from time to time, you're going to get lucky, and you might have a lucky outcome. But I want these games to be challenging. So I like that there's a couple different levels of difficulty. Very much interested in this one. Now that I've got it unboxed, I'm actually going to lug this over to game night tonight with Alexander. We're going to play a big game first, and then maybe we'll throw this on the table, but we'll see. So there you have it. Striking Flint, the 1937 UAW sit-down strike in Flint, Michigan by John Dubois, published by Hollandspiele. Looks great. Very much interested in it. Thanks for watching. I've been Grant for the Player's Aid.